我们要邀请荷兰的 Barbara Tasvo 上台为我们致辞，请各位用热烈掌声欢迎。
There are some distinguished guests attending this conference. First, we would like to invite Barbara from Netherlands to share her precious RYE experience with us. Barbara was an exchange student in 1984, and now she's an OB coordinator in her district. Welcome.
你好。
好。
Okay, it's wonderful to be here. I don't speak Mandarin yet, so maybe I will. Little bit about me. I only have a couple of minutes, but I'm pretty new as a Rotary Exchange officer, and I'm very happy to be here in Taiwan. And you see my family. I've been an exchange student too. In '84, so you know my age now. And it's a wonderful experience, and I know the inbounds and the rebounds and outbounds, they sure will agree with me. So thank you again. Okay, tell something about Holland or the Netherlands. A lot of people say we go to Holland. No, you're not going to Holland, you're going to the Netherlands. And the Netherlands is the same size almost as Taiwan. We only have 17 million people, but Taiwan is 25. But we have a lot to learn from you if we think about the Rotary program. Some history. The Dutch in the Taiwan go pretty far. We have connections, especially here in Tainan. The Dutch came over here with the big ships, and that's this one. And this one came far from the east, and the Dutch colonies, they want to have their pepper, salt, cinnamon, and they got it here in Tainan at their harbor for the rest of Asia. This ship is still existing. It's called the Batavia, and it's in my city. My city, Lelystad, and it's not a replica, it's the real one. I'll show you something about the Dutch, and yeah, you will learn more than a lot of people don't even know about the Dutch. So, go ahead. It's 4 minutes. Oh, we don't have any, oh, go back, we don't have any sound.
This country isn't Holland. It's
there
time
it is.
for the difference between Holland, the Netherlands, and a whole lot more. The correct name for this tulip-growing, windmill-building, hagelslag-eating, container ship-moving, ocean-conquering nation is the Netherlands. But confusion is understandable. The general region has been renamed a lot over 1,000 years, including as the Dutch Republic, the United States of Belgium, and the Kingdom of Holland. But it's not just history that makes this country's name confusing, because the Netherlands is divided into 12 provinces. Groningen, Drenthe, Overijssel, Gelderland, Limburg, Noord-Brabant, Zeeland, which, by the way, is the Zeeland that makes this Zeeland new, Friesland, with adorable little hearts on its flags, Flevoland, Utrecht, and here's the confusion, North Holland and Zuid-South Holland. These provinces make calling the Netherlands Holland like calling the United States Dakota. Though unlike the Dakotas, which are mostly empty, save for the occasional jackalope, the two Hollands are the most populated provinces and have some of the biggest attractions like Amsterdam and Kokenhof. Chances are, if it's Dutch and you've heard of it, it's in one of the Hollands. Even the government's travel website for the country is holland.com, officially because it sounds friendlier, but unofficially it's probably what people are actually searching for. Confusion continues because people who live in the Hollands are called Hollanders, but all citizens of the Netherlands are called Dutch, as is their language. But in Dutch they say, Nederlands spreken de Nederlanders in Nederland, which sounds like they'd rather we call them Netherlanders speaking Netherlandish. Meanwhile, next door in Germany, they're Deutsche sprechen Deutsch in Deutschland, which sounds like they'd rather be called Dutch. This linguistic confusion is why Americans call the Pennsylvania Dutch Dutch, even though they're Germans. To review, this country is the Netherlands, its people are Dutch, and they speak Dutch. There is no country called Holland, but there are provinces of North and South Holland. Got it? Great, because it's about to get more complicated. The Netherlands is part of a kingdom with the same name, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which is headed by the Dutch royal family. The Kingdom of the Netherlands contains 3 more countries, and to find them we must sail from the icy North Sea to the Caribbean and Aruba, Curacao, and St. Martin. These are no territories but self-governing countries within the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and as such they have their own governments and their own currencies. Geography geek side note here, while Aruba and Curacao are islands, St. Martin is just the southern half of a tiny island also named St. Martin, the other half of which is occupied by France and also named Saint Martin. So despite being separated by Belgium on the European map, the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the French Republic share a border on the other side.
Go look it up on YouTube for the rest of it to get more confused. It will take some time more. So Google it and look up the Dutch of the Holland versus the Netherlands. Okay. Youth exchange in the Netherlands. As I told you, Taiwan is the same size. It has a little bit more people, but you guys do a lot more than we do. So we have to learn from Taiwan. I'm not very proud that we only do like 30 or 35 students a year. This year we don't have anybody going to Taiwan, or we get one back, and I'm really sorry about that. So I'm already learning a lot from you guys. So what's our problem? Our problem is finding good Rotary clubs. Rotary clubs are having difficulties with age. A lot of older Rotary members, the kids are already out of the home, and they don't want to host anymore. The marketing is not done very well, I think, when I look at our program. So we have to do a lot more on the marketing, and people don't know that Rotary has exchange programs. They know about Youth for Understanding, they know about EF or AFS, but not the Rotary program. And I think the Rotary program is the best there is. A lot of people say Rotary, rich people. So it's a rich kids program. I don't think so. We have to give opportunities, especially for non-Rotarians too. And it's more known by Rotarians than it is outside. So we have a lot more marketing to do. This is our goal. We want to get 50 students within 5 years. So we have to increase. And I hope that our flag will be there next year too. So I'm working on that one. And now I'm handing over. Thank you.
I'd like to invite John from Australia to speak for us. John is currently the chair of our committee in District 97 and 10.
现在是来自澳洲的 John Britton 为我们致辞，我们再一次热烈欢迎 John。
Thank you. Thank you. I'll stand here because if I stand behind the flowers, the people in front won't see me. From Australia we say, "G'day." Can you say, "G'day, mate"? This is the first time for me in Taiwan, and Margaret, my wife, and I are looking forward to seeing your country a bit more in the next few days. I bring you greetings from my district 9710 and from the 21 districts around Australia. We heard about the size of Taiwan compared to the Netherlands. Taiwan is about the same size as half of Tasmania that is on the bottom of Australia. These pictures showing through are just to give you an idea about some of the wonderful parts of my district 9710. We face some challenges within youth exchange all of the time. Part of that challenge is that we need to recruit more students, and we market directly into the schools and through our Rotary clubs. We have one problem recently in Australia where our education authorities will not approve a student who has completed their secondary school to go out on long-term youth exchange with Rotary or the other Rotary exchange organisations. Unfortunately, they control that aspect. So a lot of our students need to be younger, so 15 to 17. In my district 9710, we have been exchanging with Taiwan for about 4 years now, and we've had some wonderful students from this country, from your multi-district into my district. And we have our students who as well have enjoyed coming here into your multi-district. I also hope that that will grow in time, because I can take back strong messages from being here at this conference about how wonderful the multi-district engages all of the people, the students inbound and outbound, the host families, the host clubs, and all of those who just love being part of Youth Exchange, like all of us in this room. And if we spread that message, so much the better. My district covers the coastline south of Sydney. All of the students love to be on the coast so that they can go surfing. Our climate is very generous so that in our winter time it is not cold and people can still swim in the ocean. We also have the snowfields that are part of Australia. So our students get an opportunity, if they wish, to also go and learn skiing and snowboarding. We have a lot of variation between the coastal parts of our district and also the inland districts where they can enjoy the Aboriginal culture that, like your country in Taiwan, for Australia, we go back 40,000 years. So a lot of culture. We have currently Lydia in our district, and she will come home to you in July. And she is having such a wonderful time, and it's a pleasure for me to be the chairman and see Lydia, as well as the other students we've had. Yes, Jake, he's here now. There he is. I do hope that we can send more of our Australian students, not only from my district, but also from each of the districts within Australia. And I hope to see our connection grow and grow. Thank you once again for allowing me to come to your conference and to enjoy the Talent Quest last night. Wasn't that wonderful? Great exhibition for the Talent Quest. And to all the Rotary Youth Exchange officers, for all of the students inbound and outbound, now, past and the future, and thanks particularly to PDG ENT for a wonderful chairman's role with this organisation. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Next, we would like to invite Eckert from Germany to speak for us. Eckert is currently the chair of RYE Committee in District 1800. He will share the German RYE experience with us.
接下来我们是邀请来自德国的 Eckert 为我们致辞。我们现在 Eckert 是1800地区的现任青少年的交换主委，他将要来跟我们分享德国的交换的经验。我们再一次掌声来欢迎他。
大家好。我很高兴认识你们。这是我的第一次中文演讲。我希望能分享我的热情。
太棒了！
The rest of my presentation will be in English. Okay. Well, let me start the thing.
下一张。
Yeah. When I do presentation in Germany, I always include original statements from my outbounds. And I just placed a person far away from Taiwan. I placed a person in Alaska. And this 15-year-old sent me this letter, and I just quote from the rest. Every student who is out in this world with the Rotary Youth Exchange program is there because you folks, you made it happen. Nobody of you is getting a penny for the work you are doing. And for me, all the money on earth would not be enough to pay for your service. No matter if it is the sponsoring country or the hosting country. Every single person who is involved in the Rotary Youth Exchange program should be honored because you and us, the exchange students, make the world a better place, each student at a time. Can I have the next slide, please?
下一张，
The sound.
再下一张。
We'll try whether we can get the sound across.
有没有声音可以出来？
Okay. I want you to meet.
大家好，我叫吴月凡，我19岁。
大家好，我叫金安迪，和我也是16岁，因为她是我的双胞胎姐姐。
我去年来到台湾高雄，我的 district 是3510。
我去台北和我的 district 是3520。我的一班的，我的14班的我的交换，我去天母和我要说。这个班的我的交换很好玩。
我在台湾做了很多的经验，我真的爱台湾，因为台湾的文化很有意思，台湾的食物很好吃。我的最好的记忆是大旅行，因为我们看到很多地方，我们去台北、高雄、台南、垦丁、新竹、花莲。和我认识很多交换学生，学很多东西。
在我的1个月，我有大部分的问题，因为我不问我的号码，我不问我的号码和我的号码，所以你必须每天问你的交换学生，你好，你有一个问题，为什么？所以这个。Time.
我现在比较独立的，我去大学学习很多。我觉得台湾和我的交换是我的最好的1年。
Okay. No. Can I have the next slides, please? No. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, I always think when you go on exchange, when you go into another country, you're confronted with so many new things. You're confronted with a culture you are not used to, and also the problems you're confronted with a family with different things, how they live, sometimes with surprising customs. And school life in Germany is definitely totally different from school life in Taiwan. And also to find new friends is a challenge that is not so easy to overcome. And the most important thing for these 15-year-olds or 16-year-olds is there's no father, no mother behind me to support me. So you have to survive without the support from home. And the effect is so wonderful. The effect is that you come back with a new outlook on the world. You come back with more knowledge of other cultures, and you come back with an understanding of yourself, a new understanding of your country. You also know your weaknesses when you come back. Altogether, you have increased your self-esteem and your independence. And you come back with a pack of business cards because you've made friends all over the world. Here you meet, if he starts to speak, you meet a friend of mine, an exchange that spent some time in your country. If the sound works.
I'm Aaron. I've been to exchange in District 3417 in the year 2013, 2014. And now I'm back to Germany for 1 year.
Sorry.
I really miss Taiwan. I really miss
there's a double on this. There's another video on that slide. Could you get that one, please, for me? if that's possible. If not, we'll just move on. I think that's the one. No, okay. We'll just drop that. You'll meet Aaron again perhaps later. Positive side effects. If you spend some time in another country and that changes you, how can we support you? I think if we Rotarians manage to help the exchange students to have a successful year, that is the answer. And what can we do? We will talk about that in a second. But once we help to the students to have a successful experience, it has positive side effects on various people, on various areas. It's the host families, it's the circle of friends, it is also the high school, it's the sports club, it's the local community that is affected by it. And of course, the Rotary Club is also affected positively, as is the host district. But also on the sending side, you have positive effects. On the sending side, it changes your family, it changes your circle of friends back home and also your school. I always say, one successful exchange is like a little stone thrown into the water, and it has a ripple effect. It affects so many more people. Oh, sorry. This is someone you must meet. Can we just go back?
If someone has chance to go to exchange, and then they should go to exchange. Because if you go on exchange life, you can meet lots of friends, and your personality will be changed a lot.
Hello, I'm Tommy. I've been in Germany for 5.5 months. For this time, I learned a lot of German, and I learned another culture, and I know people from all over the world. So I think it's a really good choice to make an exchange.
And now a greeting to your friends in Taiwan, in Chinese.
对，就是我觉得在德国非常好，我觉得你们一定要来。对。
Hello， 我现在在德国过得很不错，所以就是如果你们有机会的话，也欢迎你们来德国。
These two are just now in my district, and I hope they are having a wonderful time there. Okay, there are also, oh sorry, that's the wrong way, forgive me. That's the one I want to say. What can we Rotarians, what can you, what can I, what can we do for success? And I think if it is true that every successful exchange has a multiplying effect, then the training of the people we send out every year gets a great importance. And it gets the importance especially in the question of language. You just saw how difficult it was for me to speak these words in Chinese. So I tell my kids before they leave, learn Mandarin. And I hope that the people you send to my country will come and say, Guten Morgen, wie geht es dir, Ecki? So we must look at how we prepare the people concerning the language, concerning cultural differences, typical challenges, and the way how we integrate our inbounds into family life and club life gets ever so important. It may pay off very well to train former exchange students so they become Rotex people to help in the preparation of the people before they go out. Just meet one of my Rotex person.
大家好，我是郑世凯，或者老粉非常好啊。我现在是 Rotex， 我去过台湾交换。我的时间在台湾是一个非常很好的时间。我觉得交换是非常努力的事情。我觉得非常好，非常好学国外的文化。所以我觉得非常好。
I must admit that while I worked with Ryemt Exchange, I have learned a lot. I have learned how important it is to to train the counselors and to train the host parents. For example, one thing, first time I was in the job, I said to my host parents, hey, when these inbounds come, give them a big hug. Just be very, very friendly to them. And then next time, a young girl from an Asian country comes up to me and she says, Eki, if someone embraces me just like that, it's a signal he wants to marry me. So I have learned a lot. I have learned that it is important to monitor the process of integration. I have learned that one optimistic person you send to me and one person that speaks about Taiwan, apart from me, in a positive way, will create many people who say, I want to go to Taiwan and nowhere else. So send me the best person and you'll have many, many more people who want to come to your country. One more thing, last but not least. Rotary Youth Exchange has definitely changed me and my own family. We have one biological son. I have a Canadian Rotary daughter now. I've got 3 South American sons and many, many friends over the world, all over the world, and I think especially so in Taiwan. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Eki.
We wish you have a very good experience in Taiwan.